Well, I haven't told my friend about this yet. The last time I tried to speak to her about something like this, she tried to kill herself, like she tried to take her life. So, yeah. Welcome to Confessions and Unreal Stories. This is a segment here on May 22 where we share the most incredible, fascinating, and shocking real life stories that actually happened. The catch is, people from all over the world have submitted these stories anonymously, and so we, May 22, will help tell their story. Well, I decided to share this because I don't want anyone to ever hurt somebody else like this. I know how it feels like to be betrayed, so yeah. But I'm kind of like confused on what to do, and I haven't yet told my friend. And I feel so bad, and I know like people will think like I'm not a good person, but you have to understand this is complicated. If I tell her and she hurts herself, I don't want to be held responsible for that because I know I will hold myself responsible for that. So we have a circle of friends. We're about six of us. We hang out together. Sometimes we hang out individually, but we've known each other for a while. I, however, have been particularly close to one of my friends, my childhood friend. I've known her since I was like 5 years old. I'm now 32 years of age. We met our mutual friend in New York and we started hanging out with her. We all go to brunch parties. We club together. I like to be out. I'm a social bee. I like to be around my people, my friends, and just to have company. Sometimes I even have house parties at my place. Anyway, this friend that I met in New York, I knew her for about 5 years. She called me on Saturday and she said that there was this brunch happening at some rooftop and she asked me if I wanted to go. I told her sure. I wasn't doing anything. I had just finished a big project. I just wanted to unwind and relax. So I agreed to it. The next day, I went out for brunch. It so happened that two of my friends were also free, so I invited them along, and it was just four of us. We drank, I got a little tipsy, and we had a good time. At some point, my friend started to tell me about how she got kicked out of her house. She was staying with her fiance, but they got into this huge fight, and he's just kind of like controlling. So he locked up the condo. He told the security not to let her in, and he flew to Miami. So she didn't have a place to stay. She didn't even have any clothes. She didn't ask me if she could stay at my place, but she was telling me this story and hinting that she has nowhere to go. Like, what kind of person would I be if I never, try to help her out? So I told her, you know what, you could stay at my place. How long do you need to be there for? And she said, just a couple of weeks. I'll probably be out sooner than that, she said. I told her, no problem. We're all grown-ups. I don't really like to stay with people. However, you know what? Let me just help somebody out. My childhood friend is not particularly keen about this lady because of her mannerisms. She just seems a little bit loose and she seems like she might invite weird characters to people's lives. So she's always cautioning me, like, be careful about her, be careful about her. But since she was stranded, I decided to just help her out. So she stayed with me for about 3 weeks. For the first week, we were just hanging out. We went out together. It was kind of fun to have like someone who was in the house who was just ready, and she was down to do anything that I wanted to do. So it was pretty cool at that time. One day I got a call and I had a business project. I had to fly off to Chicago. So I left her with the keys. I told her, please take care of my house. Do not allow anyone to come to my crib. Like, I do not like visitors. I have to meet them. I have a lot of precious things in the house. Please take care of my property. She told me, of course, why would I even allow anybody to come to your house? What kind of person would I be? So I left and I went to Chicago. When I got there, the client I was supposed to meet apparently got delayed. He was actually in London. So I spent one night in Chicago and I decided, you know what, let me go back the next day early in the morning. So at around 8 a.m., I caught a flight. I went back to New York. I got to my house. When I opened the door, there was smoke. Someone was smoking weed in my house. So I'm looking around, there was loud music playing. I tried to call my friend's name. She wasn't responding. I said maybe she smoked up and she just forgot to switch off the music. I rolled in my suitcase into the house. I'm walking to my bedroom to unpack my suitcase since there was no use of it anymore, at least for the moment. When I opened my door, guess what I saw? I saw my friend, and she had her lover friend in my room on my bed, and they were having sex. And I just stood there going, what is going on? I was so disgusted. Like, no one has ever touched that bed but me. I'm just thinking of how I need to buy a new bed and so on. And I didn't even know what to do because they were like literally naked and I'm just standing there. All of a sudden, the guy turns his face and he looks at me, and that's when I just had the biggest shock of my life. This was my childhood friend's husband. I said, oh my God. Let's call him Warren. Yeah, let's go with Warren. But Warren is not his real name, obviously. This story is completely confidential. I said, Warren, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you kidding me? We're all friends. You are my friend's husband in my house? On my bed? What? He got up so quickly, he was so shocked. I didn't even think about leaving the door. I said, you guys humiliated yourself in front of me in my house. You're gonna dress up and you're gonna leave. I quickly kicked both of them out. My friend, now the girl who was sleeping with him, she was so embarrassed. She tried to tell me, you don't understand. Let me explain. I said, what is there to explain? You're sleeping with your friend's husband. I knew it. I knew it. She warned me about you. You know that? She told me I should never have you in my house, that you're just bad news. Why would you do this to her? So I looked at Warren and I said, Warren, the last time you did this to her, she was admitted at the hospital because she tried to commit suicide. Now, what the heck am I supposed to tell her? Why did you put me in this position? If you don't like the lady, just divorce. Leave her alone. Let somebody else come and marry her who'll treasure her. Like, what are you doing? So he tried to beg me, please don't say anything. Like, I'm going to do anything. And I said, guys, get out. I kicked both of them out. My friend, now the other lady, she tried to beg me. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? I said, you should have thought about that before you slept with your friend's husband. You're dirty. Like, get out of my house. I was so upset. I didn't care about what I was telling her at that point. So she left. I then saw a test on my dresser and I went and I opened it and it was a positive test for herpes. The only thing is, whoever's test that was, the name was blurred out. So I don't know if it was my friend, the female, or my friend's husband. So I'm looking at this test and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just crazy. Like, it gets worse. This happened around May 2021. And since then, I haven't told my friend anything. And the husband is still staying with her. I feel so bad. But guys, you don't understand. Like, she tried to kill herself. I don't want to be responsible for that. Furthermore, we've always been trying to tell her to leave this guy. I'm thinking maybe if I just speak to the guy and try to get him therapy or something. I am 80% leaning on telling her what he did. But 20% of me wants to just keep quiet. I just feel like this is just too big for me and I cannot take losing my friend. So sometimes I feel like maybe I should just keep quiet for the sake of her life.